Cuomo here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NewsNation. We have big breaks on two major stories. We now have proof that 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie did not just disappear on her own. Just released an image of someone dressed for trouble taken on Nancy's front porch during the time frame of her disappearance. Retrieved by FBI forensic experts, despite the Nest cameras being removed. How did they do that? We'll talk about it. Remember, Big Brother's always watching. Plus, what do the experts see as clues in the appearance of this individual? Do they look sophisticated, or they look like they're kind of grabbing at how you're supposed to do this? What about the actions? What about their gait? Is there any similarity? How does this square with the letters? Does it seem like this would be the same person? I have a team that is going to get to what happens next and what matters and why, but I want to start with an even more telling development. We now have some of the names behind the Epstein redactions. Congressman Ro Khanna, Democrat, California, at the center of our first disclosure of who else may have been involved.
There were 6 wealthy, powerful men that the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikoladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator by the FBI.
Khanna is going to join us. Why? Got a probe. What do we know about these people? Why were they protected by the Trump administration in defiance of federal law? And when are Dan Bongino and Kash Patel going to explain why, after all the hyping of BS, they never told us about what we are now seeing? How could they be quiet for so long? Remember, this isn't just about what can be prosecuted. We do have to figure that out. But it's not some gotcha game about people's sex lives, okay? This is a far lower bar of humanity, all right? Who participated and or knew about assaulting females maybe as young as 9 years old? It's about why people think it is okay to say anything like this.
Everybody that was very powerful. So, like, if you were on the scene and you were powerful, like, to be honest, like, if you're not in those files, it would be an insult, because it just means that you were a bit of a loser.
Right, so the people who aren't in the files are losers.
Yes.
Okay. Are you in the files?
Well, of course I am, because it's any journalist that wrote about it.
I don't know what the hell she's talking about, okay? Listen, if you're in the files because you covered a story, it's not what we're talking about. And to casually dismiss it like that shows exactly why this matters so much. They know they'll get away with it. So what do these 6 names tell us about what comes next? One name we now know is Nicola Caputo. Now, that could refer to the Italian politician. Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, we know, is a Dubai billionaire who had been emailing with Epstein for some time. Epstein sent him a message about enjoying a torture video, and the Sultan discussed a student he may have been sexually involved with. And of course, no one was more closely tied to Epstein than Mr. Les Wexner, billionaire behind Victoria's Secret. Ironic. An FBI document lists him as a co-conspirator. What was the conspiracy? Why was there no case we ever heard of? Remember, Wexner made Epstein his financial manager. Nobody was ever really sure why, and gave him power of attorney. Again, why? Wexner also gave Epstein a townhouse worth tens of millions of dollars. They then had this notorious falling out in the 2000s after Wexner said Epstein stole from him, but Epstein got to keep the house and still claimed to be a talent scout for Victoria's Secret to sexually abuse women, perhaps. We also saw many of the same MAGA players who at first hyped Epstein being murdered, something we still have no proof of, now saying, you know, President Trump was key to taking Epstein down. Look, this piece of paper proves it. Look, I don't think so. All we know is a former member of law enforcement suggested in 2006 that Trump called the police department to congratulate them for investigating Epstein. Is this a not so artful dodge for the president to not look like he was trying to keep Epstein's secrets? Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.